Alice Ruggles was a vibrant, kind-hearted, and accomplished young woman whose life was tragically cut short at just 24 years old. Born and raised in the picturesque village of Tur Langton, near Market Harborough in Leicestershire, Alice grew up in a close-knit and loving family. She was the middle child of 4 siblings, with 2 brothers, Nick and Patrick, and a sister, Emma. Her parents, Dr. Sue Hills and Professor Clive Ruggles, were both devoted to education and academia. Sue served as head of mathematics at IYE Leicester High School for Girls, the very same school where Alice spent her formative years. From an early age, Alice embraced life with energy and openness, always eager to explore new opportunities. At 11, she discovered the sport of fencing during a school trip, and what began as curiosity quickly grew into a lifelong passion. Through determination and natural talent, Alice rose to become a county champion and a respected figure in the East Midlands fencing community. She trained and competed with several clubs over the years, most notably Market Harborough Fencing Club, earning admiration not only for her skill, but also for her warmth and sportsmanship. Alice's talent for fencing quickly became undeniable. She represented both her county and the East Midlands region, achieving impressive results such as finishing 4th in the Public Schools National Fencing Championship and winning the Leeds Open in 2012. Her drive extended beyond sport. Passionate about creativity and design, Alice moved to Newcastle to study product design at Northumbria University. While pursuing her degree, she remained active in fencing, serving as ladies' captain and helping her team qualify for the British Universities and Colleges Sport Bucks Championships. After graduating, Alice began working for Sky in Newcastle. She was admired by colleagues for her professionalism, but it was her warm, bubbly personality and sharp sense of humor that truly stood out. Friends often said she could light up any room and had a natural gift for making people feel at ease. In early 2016, Alice began a relationship with Tremont Harry Dillon, a soldier in the British Army's 2 Scots Regiment based near Edinburgh. They first connected online through a mutual acquaintance, while Dillon was serving in Afghanistan in a non-combat role. When he returned to the UK, they met in person and spent time together in Newcastle and Edinburgh. What seemed like a new chapter of happiness, however, quickly turned troubling. Dillon's behavior soon revealed patterns of control and manipulation. He expected Alice to always be available, often criticized her looks in subtle but demeaning ways, and started to dominate her time. By the time he returned permanently in April, his behavior escalated. He would show up uninvited when Alice was out with friends, pressuring her to leave with him, gradually isolating her from her social circle. The impact was clear. Alice, once outgoing and full of energy, grew quieter and more withdrawn. The strain carried over into her personal and professional life. Conflicts with housemates eventually led her to move into a ground-floor flat in Gateshead with a colleague, but her family and friends could see her usual spark fading. Their concerns deepened during a family holiday, where Alice's unhappiness was obvious. Soon after, she discovered that Dillon had been unfaithful, learning the truth from another woman he had met online. Devastated by the betrayal, Alice ended the relationship, but Dillon refused to let go. Over the following weeks, Alice was bombarded with persistent and unwanted communication, an early warning sign of the harassment and stalking that would tragically follow. Harry's messages to Alice swung wildly between pleading and threatening. He didn't just target her, he contacted her family and friends too, trying to pressure them into convincing Alice to take him back. His obsession grew, and he found ways around her attempts to block him, using different phones and email accounts. At one point, he even resorted to emotional blackmail, crying on the phone and threatening to harm himself. Things escalated further when he invaded her privacy online. He accessed Alice's social media accounts without permission, using the information to monitor her and to intimidate her with private images he had obtained. When he discovered she was seeing someone new, he lashed out by spreading lies to sabotage the relationship. By late September, his stalking had moved offline. He began appearing at Alice's home, ringing the doorbell and disappearing before she could answer. One night, he entered her back garden, tapped on her bedroom window, and left behind flowers and chocolates. Soon after, Alice received a disturbing voicemail in which he repeated that he didn't want to kill her, a statement that was chilling in itself. Terrified, Alice went to the police. Officers issued a police information notice, PIN, a formal warning with no legal power. Despite Alice's repeated calls reporting continued harassment, her concerns weren't fully connected to the earlier reports. She was left feeling as though the system couldn't or wouldn't protect her. Just 3 days after the PIN was issued, Harry sent Alice a parcel containing a letter filled with manipulative claims and false guilt-tripping. He insisted she had ruined his military career and enclosed items from their relationship, claiming he would leave her alone. Still afraid, Alice again contacted police, but her fears were not properly acted upon. Alice became increasingly cautious. She relied on friends to walk her home and made sure her flat was secure. But on October 10th, without her knowledge, Harry drove from Edinburgh to Gateshead to watch her house, even taking photos of her property. 2 nights later, he returned. After waiting for her to arrive home, he broke in through a window armed with a knife. Inside, he attacked Alice in the bathroom, fatally injuring her. Alice's flatmate Maxine discovered the devastating scene soon after. She immediately called police, and thanks to her quick action, Harry was arrested just hours later at his army barracks. Despite denying responsibility and even suggesting Alice had attacked him, the evidence was overwhelming. The jury convicted him of murder, and he was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 22 years. The trial exposed the true nature of Harry's behavior: coercive control, manipulation, and escalating stalking that had been overlooked until it was too late. Alice had first believed he was protective, but over time he stripped away her confidence, isolated her from loved ones, and tried to control her completely. Alice's death is a stark reminder of how stalking often begins under the mask of affection, grows into obsession, and can end in violence. Her story is not unique, and that's the most heartbreaking truth. Many victims of stalking still struggle to be believed. While some stalkers stop when confronted, those who continue, like Harry, pose the greatest danger. For them, stalking is like murder in slow motion. In the wake of her death, Alice's family founded the Alice Ruggles Trust. Their mission is to raise awareness of stalking and push for changes in how authorities respond, to ensure no other family has to endure the same tragedy.